Hello, my name is Asia King from Under a Creative Spell. This is my first video tutorial, so please be gentle with me. I love using embossing powders, and like most crafters out there, I probably only use them for stamping or for embellishing my cards, for example by using an encrusted jewel technique. But today I would like to show you how much more you can get out of your little pots by simply combining them with clear UTEE. Today, for my tutorial, I've used a selection of embossing enamels, powders and glitters from Stampendous. You will need a melting pot, a spatula, but if you don't have one, just a wooden stick will work just as well, a silicone flower mold, clear UTEE, and I keep mine in a jar, and a selection of your favourite embossing powders and enamels, and obviously mine are from Stampendous. We will need to start by heating the melting pot on the highest setting. It's even marked a setting for UTEE, and by adding a good amount of clear UTEE into the pot, and then just wait a little bit for the powder to melt. Once your clear UTEE has melted, just add a small amount of your lightest embossing enamel colour. So just add it to the centre and let it melt for a little while. And once it melts, just stir it together with the clear UTEE to mix the colours together. And this mixture is going to give you a very nice vintagey off-white shade, which you can use for plain flowers that you can later decorate with some paints or sprays, or whichever way you would like. And to get your beautiful moulded flowers, all you need is to tilt your melting pot and let the embossing enamel flow into the mould. Just like that. And then just let it cool. Then, to make things a little bit more exciting, you can add another embossing enamel, and I am using the shabby pink enamel. So if you just sprinkle it towards the end, and as I said, you only need a small amount of the powder. Now this time let it melt, but don't mix it together, and just by controlling the flow of your powders from the melting pot, and just let it run really slowly into the mould, you will be able to see how it creates a really lovely marbling effect. To add a little bit more sparkle to your flowers, you can also pour or sprinkle a little bit of glitter. And this glitter from Stampendous multi-crystal mix is really good for that purpose. It's very light and it's got a variety of different crystals in it, so it's going to look really nice on the flowers. So if you just sprinkle a tiny amount into your mould, and just use a brush to let it spread evenly within the mould. And now just pour your enamels into the mould as before. When it's cooled down, you will be able to see how lovely effect you can achieve with just a sprinkle of glitter on the top of the flower. But for now we'll just need to let it cool ever so slightly. Then you can also add darker colors to your mix and get additional effects this way. So here I'm using aged scarlet and just sprinkle a little bit of that in the melt pot. Okay. And there you go. And you can even see over here the wonderful patterns that are being created from different enamels particles within the mix itself. And when it's all cooled down and you're ready to get your flowers out, you will be able to see it in more detail. When you can see that your powders start to melt and you haven't got much left in your pot, just add more clear UTEE just to add up to the mixture, and just let it melt for a little while. And while this is melting, I'm actually going to add another color, and this one is aged wine embossing enamel. So I'm just going to sprinkle it just here and let it run. Okay, so now I am ready to pour again. When you're pouring, just make sure that you control the flow from the melting pot so it doesn't go too quickly, because otherwise you will waste the mixture. So just try to do it as slowly as possible. Now, did you notice these little drops that I have in here? Don't worry if any powder or enamel is going to drop from your melting pot, because you can save these. They are really good to use as little pearl embellishments that you can use as flower centers or as embellishments of any kind, and they look very unusual, and they've got usually wonderful detail inside. So just keep them aside and don't throw them away. To check if your flowers are ready to be taken out of the mold, just use the end of your spatula and just tap it slightly to see if they've hardened. Don't use your finger to check it, and I've learned the hard way. If the enamel is not set and it's not cool enough, then you're likely to burn your fingers, and that hurts. So what you need to do, you just need to turn it over, and because the silicone mold is so flexible, all you need to do is just to pop the flowers out one by one, and they're just going to come out very easily. Okay. That's it. And just have a look how beautiful these flowers are, and you can be sure that you'll never get the same flower again, because it's so unpredictable how the powders are going to come out. And if you have a look, you get these wonderful vintage streaks in the flowers, these colors here. And this is the flower that we've made just by adding this multi-crystal mix on to the bottom of the mold. And you can see gorgeous sparkle on it. And just take a look at this one. This one was made with aged scarlet enamels. And the cool thing about Stampendous enamels from the Fran-tage range, especially the aged ones, is that they are ready mixed together with different colors, and you get wonderful patterns really with no effort at all. Just take a look at this one. Isn't it gorgeous? Using the melting pot can be quite a task because it involves so many things, and it is quite a task itself to try to clean it afterwards. So try to use as many embossing enamels and powders as you have to make your flowers in one go. But don't be afraid to experiment, because the results are definitely going to be worth the extra effort. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today, and for more tips, projects and techniques, please visit my blog, and you can see the address on the bottom. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.